We have 2 weeks on a cruise ship to try each and every restaurant, but unfortunately we were very disappointed and underwhelmed. Did you have to pay to get good food? Well, grab your stretchy pants and find out, and get ready to eat some cruise food.
Well, ahoy there, cruisers. Yes, welcome on board Britain's biggest and newest cruise ship, the P&O Arvia. Now, we've got lots and lots and lots and lots of sea days, 9 sea days altogether on this transatlantic. So we're going to eat our way through the blooming ship. So join us, we're going to try all of the free food, we're going to try all of the extra pace specialty food, and some amazing treats like an ice cream afternoon tea and a very posh afternoon tea. So you're not going to want to miss any of this action. Plus we're going to show you some of the things we've done on the cruise to keep busy during these long 9 days. So let's go and eat in our first place, shall we?
We didn't go for breakfast, so we're having a sort of brunchical kind of thing going on at the moment. Let's go.
Let's go. Should we put the magnet on the other way around so our room steward knows that we want our room cleaning?
So we're not taking it easy, we're going exploring.
Let's go. So we've joined the queue for the Glass House. This is a specialty restaurant. Really fancy it because we've ate here before a few years ago and it was really good. So let's go try it out. There's only 3 people ahead of me, so it shouldn't be very long at all. Right, just figure out where it is now. Is it on this floor or the floor below? I think it's the floor below. Our cabin, deck 8. Whilst the cabin might be awful, really good access to everywhere on the ship, including the atrium. It's a 2-second walk. So we're just still waiting in the atrium area. Wow, it's busy in here today. The weather isn't great outside again. As we said in the previous episode, it's a bit weird how the restaurants are kind of part of the atrium. So what happens is, oh, sorry, they're doing a bit of trivia downstairs. Because there isn't enough seats everywhere, people go sit in the restaurant and sort of chill out there. So it's a bit weird. It's very strange. It's like you're eating in sort of a food court or something, even though it's an extra pay restaurant. Feliz Año Nuevo. Babbel is one of the top language learning apps in the world, and they're this week's sponsor. We are so lucky that we get to travel around the world a lot, and before I started using Babbel, I felt unconfident and unprepared when it came to speaking languages. But a few years ago, I set a New Year's resolution to start learning a new language with the help of Babbel. Un nuevo año, un nuevo yo. Now I'm really wondering why I didn't start earlier. It makes learning a new language fun. It teaches you the language that you'll use in real life, not the things that you really don't need to know. And that's because the lessons are crafted by real life language teachers. And what's most important to me is that the lessons are really short and manageable, meaning that I can fit them into my busy schedule. Now's the time to lock in your goals and hit the ground running in 2024. So to get started, click the link in the description section below or scan the QR code here to get 60% off with Babbel's New Year sale. And we'd love to hear what language you would like to learn and why. So let us know in the comment section below. Adios. So yeah guys, so we've been waiting about 25-30 minutes now and there's been absolutely no movement. There's still 3 people in the queue, we're number 3, and nobody's been seated at all. I think it's because there's so many people just sat in there drinking coffee, playing cards, playing games just on the computers. It's a bit disappointing really because we want to eat in there, but obviously I don't think it's going to happen because nobody's actually having food, which is a bit stupid. So I think we're going to go try and eat somewhere else. We're just having a look where's open and then we'll let you know. So guys, we've now checked into the Keel and Cow restaurant, which is another specialty restaurant that opened about half an hour ago, but we've been waiting 20 minutes again, but the restaurant is completely dead. There's nobody at the stand to check in with. Really confused. There's just one table used at the moment by somebody ordering food. Very odd indeed. I'm bloody starving and nowhere else opens for another half an hour. So none of the free options are open for half an hour. So please give me food. This boy is very hungry. What's the point in having this blooming stupid app if it doesn't work?
This is a bit ridiculous. We're wandering around waiting for places to call us to go for something to eat when I can see lots of empty tables. It was the same with the Glass House. Even though it was busy with people, there were still empty tables for 2 and we never got called. So we're just going to walk up in a second and see what's happening. But yesterday we were behind a couple that did that exact thing. They were waiting, they could see empty tables, so they went and asked if they could sit down and the person said, no, you have to check in online, even though there was an empty table right there. It's a bit silly really.
Ooh, so we finally got into the Keel and Cow. It's our first time here. So we just went up to the bar and said, oh, can we just sit down? And he was like, okay then, it's a bit strange, guys. I'm not sure what the point of the virtual queue is then if you can't just come and sit down. Anyway, we've sat down and the servers are really lovely. We've ordered our drinks, we've ordered our food. It feels like a pub, like a British pub kind of food, maybe a little bit elevated. I went for some really nice dishes. I am very excited because I am very hungry. So windy today, guys. The ship is still rocking and rolling. They keep closing all of the top decks and all of the side decks as well because the weather is still a bit rough. but we're just coming down by Portugal now. So our cruise is basically 3 sea days all the way to Gran Canaria in the Canary Islands. Then we've got 6 sea days all the way to Tortola in the British Virgin Islands. So it's going to be great. We're going to be eating lots of food. I'm very excited to take you through this journey. Don't worry, we didn't eat all of this in one day. It's over the space of 14 nights, so we're not absolute pigs when it comes to food, but prepare yourself. It's going to be an exciting ride. One thing that I'm not a fan of as well, guys, I've already said it, but people just keep walking past. So it's like a cut-through route, so people keep walking past, which is a little bit annoying because they're all like, oh, what are you eating? It's not very private. Anyway, our starters have came. They look delicious. We're having a shared starter. It's like a British cheese fondue with some lovely bread. Let's go and have a try of it. And it's got some chutney on the side, which looks delicious. Let's have a little try, shall we? Jesus, Joseph and Mary on a hill. That is blooming delicious. Oh, the cheese is lovely and creamy, quite mild and delicious. The chutney is freaking delicious, and that bread, salty, bready, soft. Oh, gorgeous. What a nice start. And it's warming us up as well because it's blooming freezing in here as well. I'm not sure why, but there is a breeze coming from somewhere. Freezing. Ooh, get me nice and warm.
I've made a mistake. I've gone double cheese because I've also got cheese for my main, but I don't care. I love cheese. I do wish there was a bit more bread though, because it is very tasty. I might be cheeky and ask for some more bread. Yum, yum, yum.
Ho, 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 ho. I went for something very special and it looks delicious. It's a sausage, but it's not in long form. It's in like a snaily circular form. And it comes in a massive Yorkshire pudding with some gravy, which I'm going to put on now, some vegetables. It's a proper British meal, this one is. And it's a Sunday, so it feels like Sunday lunch. This is the sort of thing that we would eat at home. So, well, put me between 2 buns and call me a happy hot dog, because that is freaking, oh my God, that is really good, David. My hunt for the perfect sausage, it's here now. This is it. I'm going to keep trying, but so far, this is the best so far. The Yorkshire puddings are crispy and delicious. The mashed potatoes, lovely and smooth. The vegetables are nicely cooked as well. And that sausage, oh, it went down well. It went down very well, like no other sausage has ever done before. Very, very good indeed. Very impressed, guys.
I did not order correctly. I've basically got kind of what I had at my starter, but in a different format. I went for the ploughman's lunch. It's very lovely presented. Big chunk of bread with some chutneys, some fruit and cheese. Very, very lovely. I think the cheese to bread ratio is a little bit off. I'd like to have more bread.
For dessert, we went for the sticky toffee pudding, another British favourite. I'm going to waste no time here, guys. Let's pour that cream over it. Oh, that's so sensual. That is incredibly underwhelming. It has like a sour taste. It really doesn't taste of anything. There's no flavour there whatsoever, which is so disappointing because sticky toffee pudding is one of my favourite desserts. Just going to go check again. Tick. Confirmed. Not horrible, just incredibly underwhelming. Just got no taste at all. How disappointing, because the rest of the meal was lovely.
And sticky toffee pudding's supposed to be like, you know, soaked in toffee and really like delicious and moist. This is just a dry cake with no flavour to it. Honestly, it tastes like a cheap one that you put in the microwave.
So including our drinks, which are a tea and a Diet Coke, it was £27, which isn't too bad, to be fair. Not a bad meal, really. A lot cheaper than some other cruise lines for specialty dining, I tell you that. I do think we'll be back because that was a really lovely meal in that restaurant, the Keel and Cow. Anyway, we're going to go to the cinema. There's a multiplex cinema on board showing 3 different movies on 3 different screens. So we're going to go spend a few hours in there whilst the weather's so bad. So we'll see you in a bit. We saw the new Indiana Jones movie in the theatre and it was very good indeed. Got to say, there isn't that much entertainment on for these sea days. Just a few trivias a day. Not really any entertainment. And they do silly things like put a really popular band in the atrium where you can't really see them and there's no seating, so you've got to stand and watch them, which is a bit odd. Would love to see like matinee shows. Definitely more trivia on board as well, because there isn't much. But yeah, it's a bit dull, to be honest. Good morning, everybody. It's another day. It's another sunny day. It looks a bit blue. It's because I'm in this blooming conservatory and the windows are so shaded and have like a thing on them, so it makes everything look very dark in the room and quite blue. Anyway, we're going to make some coffee in our cabin before we head out for breakfast and show you some of the different breakfast places you can eat here on P&O Arvia. So let's go see if David's ready, shall we? Good morning.
Good morning. Hiding all the mess, just shoving everything in the cupboards, which is my version of tidying up. I always tidy up before the cabin steward comes in because I don't want to be embarrassed. Oh, coffee's done.
Yay, happy days.
One of the good things about this cabin is the coffee machine. The pods are by law They're not the best, but it does the trick.
By law, is that like an off-brand
I'm
thing?
not sure the law. Let me have a look. Let me have a looky look. Yeah, LOR.
I've got a feeling that's like a continental brand from Europe, so I think it is like the normal brand, but not the brand we get in the UK.
Yes, they're okay. They do the trick. Get me going in the morning, get the engines revving. We're going to go for breakfast and show you all the different breakfast items.
Absolutely thrilled to see after those first few bumpy days, because we're on a transatlantic, it's been lovely and smooth, very smooth indeed. The ship's not rocked a little bit, so it's been really lovely. So let's talk about some of the breakfast options here on the P&O Arvia. Now the free options, so the complimentary options, include the buffet upstairs. We had a look around. A little bit disappointing, guys, compared to a lot of other cruise ships. A very basic selection. So your full English breakfast options, you've got a few different muffins which don't really change. Pastries at a very, very small. A little bit of a fruit selection, a little bit of a continental selection, some cereals. Now, one thing that they do really well is the gluten-free options and vegan options, like butters and different options there, which is very good to see. There's actually a dedicated stand to it, which is really nice to see. Another complimentary option is the keys as well. There's 3 different booths serving 3 different types of food. Basically a waffle station, an omelette station, as well as a help yourself full English breakfast selection. It's basically exactly the same as the buffet, but we do find it a little bit quieter down there. There's also a little selection of pastries and things, all the same stuff that you get down in the buffet, as well as a drink station as well. Coffees, teas, a selection of teas, some juices and water as well. And then lastly, the other complimentary option is the main dining room as well. Well, we found the food to be subpar at best, guys. It's some of the worst main dining room we've had on any ship, so we tend to avoid that. There's also a brunch option as well in the 6th Street Diner. Then the pay options, you've got places like the Keel and Cow, you've got room service, and that's about it really. There is plenty of options for breakfast here on board.
We got to try the 6th Street Diner for brunch. The food was a bit hit and miss. Some dishes were okay, but some were absolutely terrible. I mean, what is this? The desserts, however, were quite tasty.
Right, we're going to head for the Keel and Cow for some breakfast. Now, this is a specialty restaurant, so you're going to have to pay for it. So we'll let you know what we think. Let's go.
So we've sat down and the menu here is all a la carte, so everything is individually priced. The prices are not too bad. You're looking at between like £1, £2 to like £5 for your breakfast items. We went for coffee. When he was pouring it, I did think he was pouring tea because it is that weak. Yep. As I suspected, it's as terrible as it looks.
Oh dear, guys, congratulations. I think P&O have beat Norwegian Cruise Line for the worst coffee at sea. That legitimately is dishwater. That's not going to be setting me alight anytime soon. Maybe a slow crawl later on, but I don't think that's got much caffeine content in it anyway. Cheers and good morning to you very much too. Really wishing I preloaded now like David did before we left the cabin. Just a quick warning, I did buy an orange juice, which I think was £1.50. I was expecting it to be sort of freshly squeezed orange juice, but it's not. It's just the normal concentrate stuff that you get free on other cruise lines, so that's a little bit disappointing, guys. It's just the really sugary, horrible stuff that comes in a carton.
I went for the Eggs Benedict. You can mix and match the Eggs Benedict, so you choose your base. So I went for the classic, the English muffin. Then you choose what you want on that. So there was salmon, bacon, your usual stuff. I went for the avocado. Well, the eggs cook very, very well. They're really well done, actually. Poached, so they're still runny in the middle, nice and hard on the outside. The avocado doesn't work because the avocado is really limey. I think that is packet avocado. I might be wrong, but the texture of it doesn't feel like fresh avocados. It's kind of clashing with hollandaise sauce. It's okay, it's not great. It's all just a little bit sloppy.
Wow, so I got the full English breakfast. I've got to admit, I'm quite impressed. That's very big, £3.50 as well, which is quite cheap really, guys. What do I see before me, David? It's black pudding, my old nemesis. I haven't seen that in a long time, and what is it doing on my plate? I didn't read that on the menu. I don't know if I'm going to be trying that anyway. Look at this sausage, guys. It's almost offensive, isn't it? It's very perky for this time of the morning, isn't it? Look at the size of that thing compared to my face. That's got some bloody length on it. Anyway, I'm going to dip it into the beans and have a little try of it, shall we? Very, very nice sausage indeed. Loving that. Good start of the day, guys. You can't go wrong. The first thing I like in my mouth in the morning is a good piece of sausage, and that does not disappoint. Very, very good indeed. Anyway, the bacon's lovely as well. A giant tomato. Look at the size of that thing. It looks like a UFO. Looks like it's going to abduct me. Shall I go for it, David? Shall I try a bit of the black pudding? Oh my gosh, guys, I don't know if I can do this. That is not good here.
That's a whisper.
I don't even know what that tastes like. It doesn't taste bad, but it's just the thought of it, guys, is just horrendously bad.
So we've came back to the cabin after breakfast to see what's going on today and to see what we can get up to on our sea day. One of many sea days coming up. We're having a look at the planner on the TV. You can also look on the app. Pretty much nothing going on. So there's very few activities. 3 quizzes the whole day. 4 quizzes actually, but one of them's progressive and we didn't start. We've already missed the start, so we can't really take part in that. But then there's really nothing else at all during the day. So unless you want to sunbathe, you kind of have to make your own entertainment. So this is our 8th transatlantic cruise now, so we have things to compare it to. And this is probably the least amount of things going on during the day that we've seen. A lot of the time, the transatlantic cruises, they put on extra activities and special things because it's you have lots of sea days and obviously people are going to get bored. But with this one, we've not seen anything yet and we're about the midway point. So unless they're going to be doing stuff in the future, I don't think that they do anything extra special entertainment-wise on these crossings.
Yeah, I just wonder what the entertainment crew are doing, because we've seen a few of them about and there's quite a few of them, so I'm just wondering what all of them are doing, because there's no matinees, nothing like that, extra entertainment shows or anything like that. It is a bit boring if you don't like to sunbathe like us. Now, this completely wouldn't be a problem if you're on a normal cruise with lots of port stops, because you're going to be off the ship, but for a transatlantic, a little disappointing. Oh, is anybody feeling a little bit hungry? Let's talk about some lunch options, shall we? Well, it's very similar to the breakfast situation, apart from there's another specialty restaurant open. It's called the Glass House and it's just behind me. Let's take a look at some of the food that we had the other evening, because it is open for the evenings as well and it's exactly the same food. Personally, I don't think it was very good, guys. We weren't very impressed, and it happened to be the most expensive specialty dining we went to as well. So for 3 little dishes, it was £8, and then for the main dish, it was £8 as well. So it ended up being quite expensive for the 2 of us. It felt like pub food, and the Keel and Cow was so much better. Now again, you can get food from the buffet, the main dining room, just on sea days. It's only open on sea days, the main dining room.
So we're heading to Meridian, which is one of the main dining rooms, and this is like the traditional main dining room. So you do have the diner and the Italian, but this is what you think of a main dining room on a cruise ship.
So we're being seated in the main dining room. We've got our bread course. We've put our orders in. The menu's quite small, but there is still a choice of things to get, but there is plenty of places you can go eat on the ship, guys. There is really a lot of choice on the ship.
I got the sushi to start. I have to admit, I was a little bit nervous because I don't think I've seen sushi on a main dining room. It's a little bit over sticky for my liking. Also, don't shoot me for using a fork. I just didn't want to use my hands and there's no chopsticks. So I'm using a fork to eat sushi, which is really strange.
To start, I went for the vegetable soup. Really nice soup, super well seasoned and nice and hot as well. Us Brits love our hot food, guys, and everything has been hot so far, which we really do appreciate. Oh gosh, guys, so we finished our meal. We didn't really want to say any more of the review because we were sat next to a lot of people next to us and we were really close to the station as well with all of the crew. My gosh, my main course, it was a cheese sandwich with some chunky chips. It was absolutely bloody disgusting. It was... the sandwich was vile and the chips were really undercooked, so they were just really horrible. My gosh, that has to be, honestly, probably the worst meal I've had since maybe our MSc experience a couple of years ago. But I mean, it was a cheese sandwich. How hard is it to muck up a cheese sandwich? And they royally did. And then for dessert, I thought I'd try another sticky toffee pudding. It was freezing, totally dry, no cream or sauce or anything like that. It was just a dry, stodgy piece of cake.
I got the fish and chips and it has to be one of the worst fish and chips I've ever had. To call it fish and chips is a stretch. I'd call it deep fried batter with undercooked chips. There was barely any fish in it. The batter was so thick it was actually raw in the middle, and even my peas were deep fried, which is a little bit odd. The chips were undercooked, like I said, and then for my dessert I got the rhubarb crumble. It was okay, it was fine, it was a little bit sloppy. The custard actually was nice. I thought the custard was nicer than the Keel and Cow. I'm not going to lie, I'm still very hungry after lunch. I didn't eat any of my main course, so all I've had is 2 little pieces of sushi. I'm going to do an experiment. We're going to pop to the Keys and we're going to see how the fish and chips are in the Keys compared to the fish and chips in the main dining room. So I got fish chips, mushy peas and curry sauce. Sounds weird, but it's a staple here in Britain. How can they get it so wrong in the main dining room, but so right there? The fish is crispy. It's actually got fish in it as well, which is good. The chips are nice chunky British chips, perfectly cooked, really flavourful. Mushy peas are good as well. And the chip shop curry sauce tastes exactly like curry sauce at home. That is a really good fish and chips.
Yeah, got to admit, I'm still feeling very peckish after lunch because I left most of my main course because it was so blooming horrible. Anyway, I went for the katsu curry. Now, this is like a Japanese curry, and it comes with noodles. Let's have a little try. It smells good, guys. Oh, that is absolutely blooming delicious. Thank God for some good food, because that main dining room was not good. And the Keys, completely complimentary as well. It's open for breakfast with a breakfast offering. Then it's open during the day till about 5 p.m, I think. So fabulous. The noodles are really good as well, but that sauce, love a good katsu curry, and that is a good one.
We also headed back to the 6th Street Diner for some lunch. It's American style food, but we just found it didn't hit the spot for us. It just wasn't great. The food was somewhat lacking. Just look how terrible my chicken sandwich was. This is probably because we get to sail a lot of the American cruise lines where the American food is just better and, well, more authentic. The Taste 360 Grill was also open for lunch and dinner, serving things like burgers, grill items, hot dogs, fries and pizza. We found the food to be underwhelming. Just so much fried food on offer and nothing fresh and healthy.
Right, so next up we're going to try some afternoon tea. There's a few different options here on the ship. This is the proper one, so let's go try it, shall we? I'm excited because we did this a few years ago on Iona and it was brilliant. Hopefully it's just as good. Wow, so we're back at the afternoon tea at the Epicurean, and doesn't this look absolutely spectacular? It's amazing. So it's here right at the top of the ship on deck 17 in the Epicurean restaurant. We're going to be trying it for dinner as well one day as well, so stay tuned for that. It's £15 per person, which I don't think is too bad for what you get really. A selection of savoury things and then some sweet things and obviously some scones as well. I can see lots of lovely cream and jam as well. I'm really excited about this, guys. It looks really fantastic. So should we get cracking in it, shall we?
So I did afternoon tea correctly then, because I got actual tea. I got English breakfast tea. Enjoy it with your cakes and treats, and the cakes and treats look really delicious. I just had the crab tart. It was like a sweet pastry, really tasty and delish.
Yes, I'm very sorry to all of my fellow British people. I went for coffee instead of tea. How bad is that, guys? Anyway, I've just tried a few of the sandwiches. The ham sandwich is really, really nice. Really like that. This one's really interesting. It's like an eclair, and it's cheese and pancetta, but it's sweet and spicy at the same time, so I don't know how I feel about that. It's very odd indeed. There's something about it that makes me keep going back to it. Ooh, let's try this little creme pâtissière, shall we? It exploded. Oh, it's got like little balls in it as well. How exciting, guys. It's full of balls. Love that. Let's have a little try of one of them, shall we? So like little explosions in your mouth. It's very strange indeed, but I like it. Quite nice this, Dave. You have to try one of these. Oh my God, my balls have dropped on my napkin. Let's get them off. Bless them. Look how cute they are.
Just having a bit of the chocolate tart. Very rich and dark. I do like that. Like a dark chocolate ganache. Some of the flavours are a bit unusual, so it's supposed to be like a take on afternoon tea around the world. So some of the flavours are a little bit odd, like a little bit too odd for me.
Let's try the next thing. It's like a little pot of what looks like goodness, and I see more bowls in there, guys. P&O calling them pearls, but we'll refer to them as bowls because that just sounds a little bit better. Let's try putting one of those said bowls in my mouth. Very sweet, guys. I've got to say the whole thing is very sweet heavy. I would like to see a little bit more savoury food, but it is all very good. Anyway, guys, guess who I am? I'm Clarice off of Silence of the Lambs. Guess that makes David Anthony Hopkins, doesn't it?
Another bowl form food for you, Ben.
I know. I've never had so many balls come towards my mouth since that time in 1998 in a dance class. No, we can't talk about that. Ooh, I've de-winged the butterfly. It's now a caterpillar. Instead of going the normal way, it's went the backwards way. But yeah, those scones were absolutely delicious as well. They had little orange bits in them. Oh my gosh, guys, I need a bloomin' wheelchair to roll me back down to my room. If I have one more cake, I will legitimately pop. Like David said, the best afternoon tea at sea by far that we've ever tasted. Really, really good afternoon tea. And I think for £15 each, excellent value as well.
This wasn't the only afternoon tea on offer. Let's try something a bit different.
Wow, this looks amazing. This is the afternoon tea from the ice cream place. It's £12.95. It includes a selection of ice creams and a tea or coffee. We just went for the afternoon tea for one person and we're going to share because that is a lot of ice cream. I think if I ate all this to myself, I'd be in some sort of coma, honestly, a sugar coma. But doesn't it look so pretty? I'm really excited to tuck into this. This is Ben's kryptonite in frozen form. Don't get too close, Ben.
Well, stick me between two wafers and call me an ice cream sandwich because yes, David, I am very, very happy indeed. This is indeed my kryptonite. It is yummy. But yeah, like David said, just order one, guys. That is more than enough for the pair of us. And I've got a huge appetite when it comes to sweets. Bloomin' delicious. This is delicious. And for £12 for the whole lot, bargain, complete bargain. You could probably share this between a family of four, to be honest. You can also pay a little bit more, and instead of the coffee, you get some champagne. So treat yourself. Oh, I love a bit of white chocolate. Yummy.
I don't know how to approach it. I don't want to ruin them because they all look so pretty.
Approach with your mouth.
Look how big that is though. Really flavourful. Nice dark chocolate on the outside. Yummy. It's a little bit like a Magnum.
Finally, a good cup of Joe as well. The coffee, which is Costa Coffee, the paid coffee. It's the first coffee I've had. I think I said coffee 15 times there. I've had it in like 6 days. That tastes good. Absolutely delicious. Thank you, Joe. Up there in Joe heaven. Not surprisingly, it's frozen solid and I can't get up my half of it, but it looks delicious, guys. Right, let's see if I can get in here. Anybody got a chainsaw? Finally got in. That's what she said. It's delicious. Yummy. Really high quality.
And I've got a poop in the snow, frozen solid.
Oh, it's like a cigar.
It tastes like a snowball. Do you know the little chocolates with like the marshmallow inside? Really nice.
Oh, and next up we've got a lovely sausage ice cream. Just kidding. It's ice cream with some sprinkles and chocolate on the outside, but it does look a bit sausage formed, doesn't it? And you know how I like a sausage formed object flying towards my face, so let's have a little try. I don't know what the etiquette is though, guys. Do I just like stick it in or do I take a little nibble? Let's do it. That's full of delicious ice cream. It is delicious. It was like spurting out the other end when I ate into it. Really nice as well. It's got like waffle cone in there as well. Absolutely delicious. Oh, it's dripping everywhere, guys. It's so naughty. Oh my God, it's sweet though. Holy moly. Oh, that was absolutely banging. 2 really fantastic afternoon teas. Some of the highlights of the food here on P&O Arvia. Definitely recommend both of them. Great value, great food.
So when it comes to dinner here on P&O Cruises Arvia, you have a couple of different options. So for dinner like lunchtime, many of the same places are open. All the included dining rooms, so the main dining room, the diner and the Olive Grove are open on an evening. Plus all your speciality restaurants are open as well. Now let's go and get changed and try some of them dinner options.
First up, we have the Olive Grove, a complimentary Italian restaurant. We much preferred the look of this restaurant on the P&O Iona. It just looked better, and we thought the food was better on that ship too. They had authentic stone pizza ovens on board, which had been removed on this ship. The food again was just hit and miss. Some dishes were okay, some were just awful. We also ate here on one of the 2 formal nights where the menu was completely different, and we have to say the food was quite impressive and tasty on the whole. We also tried the Keys for dinner, but the other food options like the Yorkshire pudding dinner was just awful. Super low quality meat, chewy and horrible. The wrap from the Asian counter wasn't much better either, just very disappointing. It also doesn't get much better in the buffet either. It's just nowhere near the selection or quality of other cruise lines we cruise with, like Norwegian, Princess, Royal Caribbean, Celebrity and more. It was lacking a good choice of high quality options. It's just all very grey and uninspiring, and it's often so busy, it's just an uncomfortable place to be. It was a very small selection and just bad, stodgy food. Serving things like pie and mash and full Sunday lunches every day in the Caribbean is just odd. We found it hard to find good, healthy, fresh foods.
So next up, we're going to do something very different. So here on the P&O ships, they have something called the Limelight Club. And it's a great thing. It's like a dinner show where they have visiting acts and celebrities. And tonight we're going to go and see the fabulous Levoix, who's quite a famous drag queen here in the UK. She's been on lots of programmes and in America as well. So let's go see her. It's a 3-course meal and a dinner show. I think it costs about £35 per person. Let's head down and enjoy it. I'm really excited for this one because she is bloody hysterical. So come on, let's waste no more time and have a laugh and some food, shall we? It's the best kind of night, right?
So we've been seated now for our show. I do advise you to come early because there is quite a long queue to get in here. So we came here about 6:30. I think it starts about 7:30. But in the meantime, you can look at the menu, you can order your drinks. There is a starter, a mains and a dessert. It's not a set menu, there is actually options for each course, which is quite nice because I thought it was going to be a set menu.
So we popped our orders in, super excited for the food. It does look pretty good. Anyway, we've got some little pre-appetizers. I'm not sure what they are, they didn't tell us. I think it's beef, but very good indeed. Anyway, the show's about to start.
I was worried early if you were even alive from the night backstage. No, I wasn't looking at you. Look at you looking behind you. I look at you thinking, how dare you, my youth. I am youth incarnate. You look amazing.
So we already had a little mini pre-show from Le Voir. Absolutely hilarious, very quick with the comedy. Every night it feels like it's going to be a different show because it's all about audience interaction. But so far, hilarious. My cheeks are already hurting. I got the smoked salmon, which is also a cold starter, and it comes with a smear. I'm not sure what the smear is, but there's a smear. Kind of tastes like salmon. It doesn't really have much extra flavour to it. Just a nice cold salmon starter.
I went for the ham hock. I love a chunk of ham, I've got to admit, a bit of pork. Oh, that pig did good. That's going down very nicely. That is delicious, really nice. And I really like the little side of peas. That is very fresh indeed. Lovely, cold starter, but very good.
I got the sea bass for my main. Comes on a bed of gnocchi, comes with peas and a white sauce. It's really tasty, guys. Really delicious. The gnocchi is well cooked and the fish is very tasty.
Anyway, I went for the beef. Let's have a little try. Really tasty, nice potatoes, nice beef as well, with some lovely vegetables, but the gravy is delicious. A few people were telling us that the food wasn't very good, but I don't think it's bad at all, to be honest. So £35 for the show and the dinner. Good stuff.
So it's dessert time before show time. Really excited. I got the apple strudel. Not gonna lie, guys, it kind of looks like a bird's nest plonked in a pile of applesauce. It doesn't look the most appetizing. It tastes nice, but it kind of, the texture's weird. It is a texture of like applesauce that you put on your Sunday dinner. And then in the middle is like this, so it's almost like a shredded wheat with applesauce that you put on your Sunday dinner.
I went for the chocolate dessert. Now, it does look a bit gelatine-y. Let's crack in there, shall we? It's not. It's very light and fluffy, actually. Oh, that's a pleasant surprise. Let's get a little bit of the ice cream on there as well. I was expecting it to be quite gelatine-y, but it's not at all. It's very light and fluffy like a mousse. Very good indeed. Fantastic show by Le Voir. Absolutely hilarious. Oh my God, we got picked on a lot, which was so funny. Absolutely hysterical. Really good singer as well. She was on Britain's Got Talent. She sung for the Queen. The food, it was okay. It wasn't quite specialty. It was somewhere between main dining room and specialty, but you're not there for the food. You're there for the performer. Definitely book it if it's on your cruise and it's a performer you like. They do rotate all of the time. But a fantastic night overall. Good stuff.
On our final evening, we tried the Epicurean restaurant, which was £30 each. We found that it was actually quite good value. Most of the meal was pretty good and tasty. As we said a few times, if you pay a little bit extra, you can get some really good food on board this ship. Earlier in the cruise, we also got to try the beach house, which was an extra £10 each, then some extra charges on top of this for dishes as well. It was incredibly disappointing. The food wasn't even worthy of a complimentary restaurant. While some of it looks quite good, it was just super low quality. The marshmallows with the fondue were just grainy and very gelatine-y, and the chocolate fondue was freezing. Overall, we'd say the food on board was pretty poor. We would score it 3 out of 10 overall. We were sad to see a slip in standards since our last cruise. There was just too much fried, heavy food lacking any type of quality. We were desperate to get off and have a nice salad, but like we mentioned, if you pay you do get better food. But that's very disappointing that the food is so bad in some cases, you have to pay extra to get a decent meal.
Well, I guess that's almost it for our food episode. I just wanted to say a quick thing before we leave you, and it's a really important thing. Make sure that you book all of your meals as soon as you can. You can do this beforehand, before you even sail. 2 weeks before your cruise, the booking times will open up to book all of your free and specialty dining. I know it can be a bit of a pain picking where you're going to want to eat 2 weeks in advance, but do it if you can, because when you get on board, this blooming app or web page where you've got to join a queue and things to go and eat somewhere is just terrible. It's caused us to miss entertainment, it's caused us to miss shows and things like that. It just doesn't work. We join the queue and it doesn't move sometimes for like 45 minutes, an hour. So we've had to go up to the desk and tell them, and we get seated immediately. It's just ridiculous. It just doesn't work. Why aren't they using the same apps that they use on Carnival and Princess that work? It really makes no sense to us, but I just thought I'd say that, just how important it is to book all of your dining as soon as possible. It will make your holiday so much better and less stressful as well. So thank you so much for watching our food extravaganza episode. It's been a bit of a mixed bag, hasn't it, overall, David?
Yeah, it has. While some of the specialty restaurants have been great and great value, the included dining overall was quite disappointing.
It really is. We do feel like you've got to pay for better food here on P&O Cruises Arvia, but the good thing is, like we've mentioned a few times, it's really good value. Thank you so much for watching though. Please hit that subscribe button and the like button because it really does help us out.
And a big thank you to our patrons as well. Your extra support helps us make these videos, which we pay for ourselves to give you an unbiased unbiased and balanced review. In return, you receive advert-free videos, behind-the-scenes videos, and we do a monthly Zoom chat. If you'd like to find out more, click the link in the description section below.
So that's it till next time.
Happy cruising!
Look